What's the holdup?
Welcome back. We just dropped off the box, and the guy ran off, gave us a new contact to go run after. We're all rested up. Can we actually rest here? Pause. Pause.
What's the holdup?
I thought we could rest. Oh well.
All right.
Get out of here. So it looks like I regenerate, but Marte does not. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Gonna start this off. Let's line them up.
Die. Damn it. Damn.
Carve them up.
I'm
Quickly.
hurt. All right.
Oh my gosh. Marty, hold the stone.
I'm gone.
Alright, so I'll regenerate. But Marte won't. Okay. Come on. Okay, take the stone back. Use. Okay.
Done.
Smouldering corpse bars. Enemy sighted. Are you kidding me? Just get in the bar. Just get in the bar. Oh, I remember this guy. He's so cool. Ignus. He's a wizard. He like touched the plane of fire or something like that, and
I'm gone.
never came back. Let's talk to her. This woman, with fading bruises on her face and arms and looking despairingly long in her sunken eyes, she might have been pretty once, but those days were long ago. She turns slowly to face you. Life pours into her features, and the spark of hedonic light that dances in her eyes now make you wonder if her eyes were deceiving you. Welcome to the Smouldering Corpse. Scarred Man. Looking for a collector. Snickers the Collector King. You can probably find him in his stinking ilk in the trash warrens on the far side of the Hive. Good luck in getting any answers from him. He's a sly devil, he is. Who are you? I'm Priscilla, and you must be clueless. Don't ask me how I know that. I just shines off you. Shines, right? Answer some questions for me? I traveler, what is it that you seek? I feel like asking every person where my journal is isn't going to be very effective. What does that bring in the entryway?
My journal.
That despair you saw on her face before flints across it again, like a black-winged shadow across this, before she masters herself. That's Ignus, one of the greatest wizards ever to come out of the slummy excuse for a cesspool. They caught him and they opted a channel to the plane of fire through him, and now he's just a doorway for it, keeping himself alive by force or a will or alone. Someone could douse him for a few moments and give him his life back again, but they don't make enough water to do that. Someone would be able to find something. Wait a second. Ooh, what is your connection to him? Her voice practically throbs with a deep ache. I was Ignus' lover, and he my beloved. He loved the flame more than me, and now he has become the flame. And because I love him, I love the flame. But that's all done with now. Now I wait for him to douse himself. I sell what little I have, just so I can be near him. Can you tell me about this place? This is Smouldering Corpse. The person smoldering ain't dead yet. He's just keeping himself alive till someone comes along and help him out. Thoughts who like to see people in pain come here. Fiends like it. Folks who don't much care for being bothered come here. The name alone keeps out most Burks. Eb Crackneys. Alright, well, that's a name. Whoa. Oh, she came and talked to me. Mochi. You see a female dustman. As you near her, she calls out to you. You, over there. I'll approach her. Hey, Cutter. Buy a lady a drink. Who are you? Me, I am Mochi. I just drink here, and she loses train of thought momentarily. I'm just a person, you know? I see. Ask some questions. Tell me about the other patrons. No, just people. I don't deal much with people, unless they're buying me a drink. Looks at you, hopefully. Who's the burning corpse? Not a corpse. Some crazy wizard. Who are you? What? Place. Let's talk to her. Oh, well, I guess I had my opportunity to buy her a drink, and I lost it. See if I can talk to Ignus. This crackling, billowing creature twists slowly about an iron grill upon the floor of the bar. It may have once been human, but now its skin is charred beyond recognition. Streams of fire form a wreath around the creature's body. The flames lick at the few remaining pockets of flesh, causing them to bubble and run like wax down the creature's skeletal flames. Examine the smoldering corpse. Heat surrounding this creature is incredible. To your surprise, the iron grill the creature floats above has sagged and bent from the heat. At first you thought the heat came from the grill. Now you realize it emanates from the creature. As you watch, flecks of ash drift from the writhing corpse and float slowly to the ceiling. Greetings. Thing makes no response. Rise slowly within the flames. It lives, but it does not seem to be aware of anything other than the fire that surrounds it. Its skin is flame. Its heart is flame, and you know within some shadowed corner of its memory that this thing is dangerous. Alright, let's leave him alone. People are moving around. Mercy Killer Patron. Drak'kon? I think I remember this guy. The man before you is old. His dry yellow skin has the scars of one who has traveled everywhere and never rested long in any one place. His pinched face is inhumanly angular. His ears sweep out from his skull, tapering to points. He wears a loose-fitted orange tunic, and a strange shimmering blade is strapped across his back. The blade looks to be a two-pronged glaive made of some metal whose surfaces swirl like a firm of oil on the pond. Greetings. The man turns to you, his eyes like polished coal. He stares through you, and for a moment, you wonder if he might be blind. The weapon suddenly turns a dead, flat black, mirroring the man's eyes. Are you all right?
Hail, traveler.
Oh. One's voiced. So all the important characters seem to be voiced. He says nothing for a moment, merely searching your face with his eyes. Hail, traveler. His voice is quiet and somber, like a wind whispering through the branches of a great tree. Hail.
Your eyes have the weight of one who has traveled far to be in this place.
His weapon drains of its black color, resuming its shimmering. You noticed before you spoke to him, your eyes... You could say that. The man's gaze does not waver from yours. I am known as Drak'kon. The emphasis he places on the word known strikes you as odd, yet familiar at the same time. You are not known to me. I do not know myself. That is for the best. In knowing yourself, there would be little in the plains left worth knowing. He falls silent for a moment, still studying you with his coal black eyes. I would know why you have come to the city. I'm looking for answers. I have questions. Speak your questions. I will hear you. Your features are unfamiliar to me. What are you? Githzari. Githzari? Githzari is one of my people. One of the people? A Githzari. Yes, but what is a Githzari exactly? Drak'kon is silent for a moment, then speaks. Our history does not need to be made known to you. We'd bleed to death on time's blade before I recite a fraction of the histories of our people. I would like to know what your people are now. Know this and accept it as an answer. We are the people who made our home upon the shifting plane of limbo. With a deft motion, Drak'kon slips the blade from his back and holds it before you. Wait and see what happens. There we hold the matter of limbo with our minds. We forge cities with our thoughts as you watch a series of rippling waves of metal begin to roll forth from the center of the blade. The pitch and crest of the waves match the inflections in Drak'kon's voice. In its chaos we dwell, with only our knowing to preserve us. We are Githzari. What is your blade made of? It moves, shipped into the response of your voice. It is a Karak blade. It is an object that lets others know the rank of the wielder. It's almost like, what rank does it signify? Blade is a symbol of carried by the Zerth. A Zerth is one who knows the words of Zerath, and knowing the words of Zerath, they know themselves. Found our race. He knew the Githzari before they knew themselves. He defined the people. He gave them one mind. Is the maid blade up again? Chaos matter in your tongue translates to chaos matter. Okay. Shape it with your minds. Karak is not shaped by heat, but by knowing. I have other questions. Yeah, he's not going to sell it. That's his blade. All things, whether structure or flesh, their existence is defined by their knowing of themselves. And if a man does not know himself, when a mind does not know itself, it is flawed. When a mind is flawed, the man is flawed. When a man is flawed, that which he touches is flawed, and pauses. It is said that what a flawed man sees, his hands make broken. You know yourself. All black eyes take the shape of distance that you notice when you first goes. Speaks again, his voice changed, his words echo like a great stone dropped into a chasm. It looks like he is forcing the words from his chest. It is not my will that you know this. Perhaps I was being too kind phrasing it. Oh, no, we're not going to start a fight. Never mind, I have some other questions. Not known. Let's go for the journal. The creation of such things is not known to me. Tell me about the city. Segef. The city exists, but it does not know itself. It is not knowing itself. Its existence is flawed. Speak as if the city is alive. May not be aware and know itself in the sense that you or I might know ourselves, but it lives, it grows, changes, touches the minds of all that live here. The city exists in opposition to itself. It is set itself apart from planes, yet it seeks to be everywhere at once. Its walls are doors, yet it keeps these doors locked. Such an existence tells of a thing that does not know itself. In not knowing itself, it is flawed. You say the city is everywhere at once. What do you mean? The city is built from doors. These doors lead everywhere. Maybe, alright, let's see if we can pressure this. The words come out of very slowly as if they are being carried one by one. It has come to pass that I do not know myself. Why? When his voice drops to whisper, I do not know why. I know it has happened, but I know not that now, nor when, nor how to know myself once more. Oh, that's kind of sad. What does that mean? With your thoughts. Are you willing to sell it? It would become nothing in the hands of another. The blade knows my mind, and I know its heart. We die the same death. As you turn to leave, the man speaks sharply. The first time you have heard his tone change since the conversation. Hold! The man's voice levels out. The city is not known to you. I would travel your path with you. I would accept an extra blade.
Your path is mine.
Range to the left, the voice seems distant, and it echoes as if he was speaking from across great distance. Very well, let's go. Alright, we got another person. Let's see, what kind of formation do we want? Yeah, that works. T formation. Alright. Whispering Flask. Invokes Age, special +2 strength. Usable only by Gathaz. Alright. Chained Blade. 2d9. Nice. Alright, so I'll have to look at that. Alright.
Done.
See, Marcus. See a leather-skinned man with just a hint of ashen color. His teeth seem sharper than normal, and his eyes are filled with the boredom that comes with having seen too much. His voice is nasal and clipped. You again, eh? What do you want this time? You again? What do you mean? Yeah, you again. You got a hearing problem or something now? Who was just in here about 15 years ago, got all bubbled up, smashed up the place, and left a pile of coin that wasn't even enough to pay for the damages. So you plucked out your own bleeding eyeball and tells me you'll be back to reclaim it when you got 200 coins. Together, with 15 years of interest, you got about 500 coins. You got the jink. How? I got your eye. 500, that's ridiculous. That's the price, take it or like it. I don't have that much. And you got Then you're not getting your eye back. Make sense? Come talk to me when you've got the jink. Very well, can I answer some questions? I want something to drink. We'll just... You know what, we're not spending money. Information. Looking for my... okay. Not what I meant to do. Pay well to turn your back on them. Seeing you. Talk to Eb Krakener's over there. He should know where something of value. Okay. Looking for my journal. Journal, paper, and words, friend. This sort of thing don't get much stock down here. Hi, folks. Okay. What's this guy? Oh. See a soft-looking man with gentle, far-starred eyes. He dresses in supple leather clothing and carries various implements to use in destruction about his body, such as rope spikes, tinderboxes, and empty vials of air. He looks half gone. Literally, there's an unsubstantially sensibility to his existence, as if his existence has been partially leached away. He focuses those eyes on you, and suddenly you find him gripping and determined. Greetings to you, Seeker. Greetings. He carefully sits down a mug and gives you all his attention. I have seen the far reaches of this multiverse and returned to tell the tale. Multiverse? Is this guy Planeswalker? I've walked upon the bodies of dead gods and spun moonbeams in the astral ahead of 1,000 shrieking Gethzari nights. I have passed the edges of existence and watched my existence shiver away from me. What is it that I can do for you? I had some questions for you. I met a woman named Ingress with very bad teeth. She said she had come through a portal with some worlds that it was opened by tuning a humming across trees. Can you help her get home? He pauses briefly, thinking, I know the portal of which you speak, though I have not traveled in these 30 years gone. I will have her home, Seeker. Go tell her to wait for my arrival and meet me back here, and I will tell you if I was successful or not. Thank you.
Updated my journal.
Well, let's go do that. Oh, that's right. This is the thing.
Endure. In enduring, grow strong.
What?
I hear your words.
What's up, Chief?
Alright, let's get him.
Damn.
Your will be done.
Nice. Oh, nice bracelet.
All right.
Morty, you're fine. Marte, you're fine.
All right.
Wait, where is he? Where's Marte? Oh, you're over here.
What's the word good as done?
I'm gone.
There we go. Alright, let's go wrap up this guy.
The rock sings true.
I'm gone.
This guy jacks things up.
What's up? Sure, why not?
Alright, get him. Ah, he's in a corner. Get him. Get him.
All right.
Charm goes to him. Alright. Is that everybody?
Have you got the kid?
There he is. I thought there was one more. Get him. Oh my gosh.
Damn it. Did you see that?
Alright. Got some injuries.
I'm gone.
Now, so this guy, Drak'kon, he's been through the multiverse, right? Like, he's from Limbo, right? So he can hopefully speak this language. Let's get a tattoo. Drak'kon, can you translate for me? Drak'kon nods. Ask him who he is. Lips inclined, its head slightly in, lone symbol appears above his head. It is blurred at first and then resolves into a white oval with a black lightning bolt through it. What did you say, Drak'kon? He is known as Fel. Another question for him. I feel like I know you, Fel. Fel bows revealingly, and a stream of symbols swirl about his head, rotating clockwise, then counterclockwise. What did he say, Drak'kon? He has split his speech with a contradiction. Drak'kon pauses for a moment, his black eyes swirling across the symbols. He says it is the first time you have come to him. He says this is not the first time you have come to him. So he knows that I'm not right. I'm missing my memory. Does he know who I am? Another series of symbols materialize quickly and sharply into focus above Fel's head. What did you say, Drak'kon? You are known to him, but he cannot tell you what you want to know. Not. For a moment there was no response from Fel, then a stream of rebuses appear as if trickling out of Fel's mind.
Updated my journal.
In place of an answer, he surrenders an apology for his silence. Drak'kon pauses for a moment, and then when he speaks again, his words are like ice. He says that he cannot change the nature of a man. As Drak'kon repeats these words, you feel a terrible pressure in your head. That fades with the last word. Other question. Ask him what this place is. Slow train of symbols, fleshing themselves. He places pictures on flesh, tattoos. Who's behind the curtain? Ooh, can you tell me anything about the tattoos on my body? He studies your body for a moment, walking around you. He mirrors each symbol as he examines it, then walks back to face you. He says the tattoos are not his. Can you tell me anything about them? The symbols upon your back are directions left to yourself. The mark upon your shoulder is the mark of Torment. He says the mark lies upon you because the flesh knows that it is suffering, even when the mind does not. Alright, what is behind the curtain? A curtain train of symbols. This is a gallery. He says that he knows you as his canvas. He shows respect to your strength with his admiration. I'll silent for a moment. Then he insults you by giving you his pity. Pity? He pities you for the scars Torment has left upon you. He says you have endured. In enduring, you have grown strong. What do you mean? He says his admission is known through your enduring of loss. He says loss hangs upon you like chains, yet you stand and walk. Go on. He says, loss covers your life and all the ones that have come before. He says you molt like a serpent, leaving these lives behind you as you walk all of the lives' paths. Would have you know this warning. Each of your lives casts a shadow on existence. Your path will take you to a place where the shadows do not know themselves, and the walls are made of regrets. He says do not sign anything. Do not sign anything. Very well. Yes, if you know yourself to be complete. Truth, I don't. In fact, ever since I woke up from the mortuary, I feel like something's missing. Something inside. Bell nods in a series of symbols. He pays respect to your strength and tells you to keep faith. Then you shall know yourself again. I'll try. Add another question. Does he know how I died? Ooh. It's only mentioning 3 symbols meant. Shadows. The 3 symbols, 3, swirl each other and leave a faint black misty mark. They take a ragged edge like teeth and talons and multiply. 3 split into 3 and then into 3 again until the entire room seems covered by a swarm of shadows. But each time it's done by multiples of 3. What did he say? He says many shadows came for you. The reason for taking your life is not known to him. Alright. See what tattoo.
Alright.
I wonder what happens if I look in the curtain. Human skins stretch across these wooden frames. The skins are covered in all the same. Alright. Well, let's head out of here.
Done.
Let's go find... Yeah, that's where we need to go. I was like, where do we need to go? So we can travel fairly fast, so...
I'm gone.
Let's go find... our friend. Where's she at? Usually runs around here. Is that her? Ingress! Greetings, Ingress. Ingress, I found someone who's willing to take you back. Name is Kiernan. He should be along shortly to help you. Trust him, alright? Ingress says nothing, merely nods quietly, her teeth chattering inside her mouth. It's such an interesting concept, like her teeth are just like flowing. It's almost like a side effect of the chaos of traveling between dimensions. I'd like to go back and meet. I'll go back and meet Captain Red at the Smouldering Bar and make sure everything turned out alright. Be strong, Ingress.
Updated my journal.
Alright. Sip of coffee. And away we go. And then after we meet with him, then we will go and... yeah, after meeting with her, then we'll go see about the Howling Wolf gang, whatever shenanigans.
Have you got the kid?
Come on inside! Come see the Burning Man!
I'm gone.
He's on the spit! You'll love it! You, sir, come on in!
Pan stands before you approach this. The Tooth Woman wanted you to have these, he says, holding his hand out. She wanted to express her thanks, and even out of the balance book, as it were, and be done with the damn things. In the palm of his hands are Ingress's dancing teeth, and he smoothly deposited them into your hand. Enjoy them, Seeker.
Updated my journal.
I got Ingress's teeth? do crushing damage. Only usable by Morte. This is a handful of Ingress's living teeth. Apparently they didn't want to go with her back through the portal to her home plane. They rattle amongst themselves whenever they are held close together. They remind you of a bunch of creepy ivory hopping bugs. To change teeth between the different types, use the teeth gain new options as Morte goes up in levels.
Hey, come on. Hey.
Use. English teeth. You examine English teeth. You can't shake their resemblance to ivory bugs. I want you to do piercing damage. Teeth elongate into sharp fangs. 1 to 6 piercing damage.
Hey, come on. Hey.
That's cool. Alright. We got some healing. Alright.
Done.
Cool. Let's go see about some wolf boys.
Done.
There's a guy over here. The wide-eyed man is hunched over, snarling and giving low growls. It looks like he hasn't trimmed his hair in years. It's as long as it forms a veil over his eyes. He has a long, stringy mustache, caked with grease and sweat, and the tips of the mustache droop. It's almost like a Fu Manchu kind of thing. Greetings. The man stops mid-snarl and he reaches up, part the curtain of hair. And may I take a moonfly too? Yeah, not today. I had some questions. The man nods. Answers split with the half moon's howl. No, self, your question. Look, calm down. I have some questions. The man throws back his head and howls in such a terrible sound that you are forced to cover your ears. Turn away and leave him. Well, that's a tree with one snapped branch too many. Morte rolls his eyes. No sense in chattering with Zawa's text. That's a word, Chief. They're a barmy bunch. They faction who don't have any rules, except don't keep one thought in their head far too long. They're sometimes called Chaos Men. No need to explain why. Alright.
I'm gone.
Just focus fire.
Just fine. Balance, I shall
There we go.
serve.
I'm getting pretty good there. I mean, might as well wear some of this stuff. Oh my gosh. We are filling up. I don't care that you can't use it. I just...
All right.
Alright, where are these wolf guys, though? Running around in circles. Wait, where's that damsel in distress? Harlot. Angry. Oh, there she is.
Just see one of these, then.
Pretty woman, her hair is in disarray and the bodice of her dress is torn. She looks about to be desperation and she notices you. Greetings. She runs you up and down and grabs your arm. You notice the front of her dress is stained with blood. Help me, Cutter. Please, they're killing my sister. She begins to tug. Who? Looks around. Why? These drunken men who followed us from one of the taverns. We thought He meant no harm. Please cut her. Wait, first you said they were killing your sister. Now you're saying he is killing her? Which is it? Stares at you and I'm distraught. I examine the blood on her dress. Glance down at her dress and look at the blood. Although it does appear to be real, it is completely dried. It must be hours old. That blood is hours old. What are you up to? See your eyes flick through the blood stains and then back at you. You think you can hear a hint of nervousness in her voice. You're mistaken, Cutter. Please help me. My sisters lie dying while we tarry. You're up to something. Tell me, or I'll kill you. He looks you into the eye and then glances back at the scars that cover your body. She swallows nervously, and you see her pale before your eyes. I'm supposed to lure people into an alley nearby. They're waiting there to take your jink. Let me give you some advice. Don't pick someone like me as your mark. Choose some drunken fool who looks like he's never seen a battle in his life. He nods once curtly, and make sure that he looks like he has more than a couple coins to his name. Now get out of here. She nods nervously. Thank you, Cutter. Sprints off. Alright, so is back alley? Or which alley?
You see one of these, eh?
Now I'm curious.
Just see one of these, eh?
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Damn it. You see that?
Oh, you just destroyed him.
I'm hurt.
True.
Damn it.
Come on, just jack him
Damn
up.
it.
There we go.
It is I. Your path is mine.
Ooh, I can zoom in. That's cool.
He's on fire. He's a red hot. Come on in. Come on in. See what I mean?
Endure.
Alright, give
In
that to-
enduring, grow strong.
Alright, we need to find a shop.
All right.
Just see one of these, eh?
I wonder if that counts.
All right.
I mean, we killed a bunch of those guys. Let's go see if she's okay. You again, the woman turns to face you, her lips pierced. No good news. I'm still hunting down the Chaos Men.
I'm gone.
Alright, let's see. Does this place let you sleep?
Chief, what are we doing in here? Let's say we just give this place the laugh, all right?
Oh man, there's a lot of NPCs here.
All right.
Ooh, weird chanting all over the place. Emmerich. Native. Okay. Ain't nothing in there. Alright, well, can I talk to the zombie worker? Okay. Oh my gosh. Please don't start this again. No one can help see that your skull accepted. Well, I may be just skull, but I got a big heart. Whatever, Morty, let's go. Alright, so 2 rags. I still don't know what rags are used for. I don't think... Okay.
Maybe I can get a
right.
I've never seen something so ugly and not.
Am I able to sleep in here? The old tomb? That's it. Yeah, let's rest. The symbol of torment and the Lady of Pain. Oh, sweet. One full day. So we should be all rested up. We are. Well, healed up, all rested up. Oh. Well. See what this house has to offer. Need a shop is what I need. Wife. This woman looks to be in her middle years, and her hair has streaks of gray. Greetings. Yeah, it'd be best leave, for I call me husband. He won't be kindly to you having barged in our home. Calm down, I just have some questions. She glances towards her husband. Warn us, I have not the time, stranger. Do not trouble me in such things. Are you alright? Me, she seems surprised. Oh, I. She lowers her voice. You'd best leave. My husband has not been himself of late. You'd best not provoke him with your presence. What's wrong with him? He's been out of sorts of late. A touch of a cough, maybe. She gives an unconventional half shrug. If you can tell me what's wrong with him, maybe I can help. I think he's done something he regrets. Her worried expression melts into despair. I think he signed one of the dead contracts. I cannot imagine what possessed him to do such a fool thing. Dead contracts. The dead, the dustmen, have contracts that give them the right to somebody's body after they die. What do the dustmen want to do body after dead? Animate with their black magics, turn him into one of their walking dead. Why did your husband sign such a thing? May have been goat eager to bring home some more jink than custom. He's prideful, but I think he hurt himself more by doing so. That's unfortunate. The contract being done. He looks at you surprised, then sighs, I've tried. I've spoken to the dustman he did the sign-in with, but he's cold and chill, like all the dusties. He's even lectured me on me husband, as if he had no right to try to help him. Her lips began to tight, thin line of picturing the dustman's face. It was cold, cruel, was. Let me see what I can do. Which dustman did your husband sign the contract with? Dustman called Gravesend. Well, that's an edgelord name. I know not his first name. He has a table at the dustman's bar in the Hive. Gathering Dust, I believe the place is named. You can most find him there. Get more people to sign contracts. I'll stick him out.
Updated my journal.
Well, I'll see what I can do. I promise that your husband will not find. Okay. I won't turn away. Blah blah. She's. Terrible temper. Vow. Yeah. Thank you, strangers. No trouble. Alright. Let's go back in there and see if we can mess with this guy.
I'm gone.
Alright, let's see. Dustman.
All right.
Matari Gravesend. That's what we want. Let's get him. This tiny wizened man is dwarfed by his huge dustman robes. They look as if they were chosen to cloak his small stature, though he looks to be in his late 90s. The man is extremely energetic. He fidgets constantly and his eyes dart around you. Greetings. The man's eyes gleam as he takes you measure. He gives a slight nod to your greeting. Hail, and well met, traveler. You look like one who just getting their sigil legs about them. He trails off. Pardon me, have we met before? Your face seems familiar somehow. Possibly, you're certain it was me? Maybe I was mistaken. Takes his head. Well, no matter. How is it that Motari Gravesend may help you? Do you seek? He clucks his tongue as he speaks. The contract? Perhaps. Alright, we'll just cut straight to the chase. Mary frowns and looks puzzled. Mayhap, he thinks for a moment. I do not recall the name, however. I would like to settle that contract. I'm afraid that is impossible. The contract is signed, settled, and binding. I suggest you hand over the contract right now, or I'll butcher you where you stand. Yeah, that's straightforward. I mean, he's like, what, 90, they said? Oh, first let's see, is there a way? A matter of law, not a matter of discussion. Alright, well, threat. Freezes his eyes, gauging you. You draw a weapon here, you will not live to use them. There are guardians that you cannot even see hovering above this place. Even should you leave, the dustman shall see good that you are punished. Do not make such a foolish threat in my presence. Except that is indeed unfortunate, but it is now a matter of law, not a matter of heart. Is there any way?
Updated my journal.
It is now a matter of law, not a matter for discussion. What about it? Ooh, but he said don't sign. Not interested. But I can help you. Return should you in the need of funds, and I'll exchange for your signature. You know what we're gonna do?
Sure, why not?
I hear your path is mine.
Alright, we're gonna get frisky. You have the contract with you. He frowns and looks at his folds. I do not normally keep the documents with me, but it may be that. With a sheath of papers from within his robes, and he leaped through the... No, I don't have it on me. Would you like me to fetch it from the back rooms? If you could, I would like to see it. Hold a moment. Steps back from the table and departs. Wait for him to
Updated my
return.
journal.
Alright, this is a different way we can do it. After a while, Morty returns, a dusty piece of parchment. Oh, Sorry, sneezes. After a while, Motori returns to a dusty piece of parchment in his hands. He holds it up, allowing you to see it, but he does not allow it to leave his grip. Look over the parchment. There it is, sir. Engar, very somber fellow, was quick to sign. He clicks his tongue. And now, much richer fellow. He glanced over the contract. It looks genuine, very official. Very well. It all looks in order. Puts the contract away, and you notice he tucks it into his robes. Instead of putting it into the back room, Motori clicks his tongue. Does that answer your question about the contract? I'd like to see the contract again. All things look in order. I would like to settle the contract. Ah, I bet you now the threat works. Yeah, I'll risk it. Prepare to die. Mor's face looks like you didn't think that it was possible for a dustman. He sputtered for a moment, as if uncertain what to do. He suddenly turns and claps his hands 3 times, and a great roaring wind passes through the bar. Alright then, prepare to die. Alright, let's do it.
Done.
Alright. Alright, we're just gonna... These guys have no XP. Or no HP. I do not need such a big weapon. Oh my gosh, we're just carving through all these people. I mean, it's just a matter of time. We are going to start getting hits. Let's use one of those on me.
I'm hurt.
I will hear you.
Die. I'm hurt.
Oh man.
I'm gone. Don't let it end like this.
Oh.
You know, Chief, you snore really loud.
Oh, we're back here. Because I can't die.
I'm gone.
Get out of here. I wonder,
Done.
if we go back to the Dustman bar, is this just full of loot? Okay, we got the contract.
Done.
Balance, and your will be done. Your will be done.
Bunch of daggers. Is that all it is? Uh-oh.
What's up, Chief?
All right.
That's right, you got the racks. Let's get out of here. Got what we came for.
I'm gone.
That's one way to solve that problem. As I'm able to get the content from her, here it is. Oh, by the powers, you have given disguise to do such a thing for someone you barely know. Give her the
Updated
contract.
my journal.
Nay, nay, you could have shown me husband the contract to say that you got it for him, but don't. Nay, now, I appreciate it. Nay, nay, if you could show me husband the contract. Greetings. Get out and I'll send you back to wherever grave you crawled out of. Show the Dustman contract. As you pull out the contract, bloody stains of Aaron's face. For a moment, he seems to lose for words. What did she say? Ah, got it for him, but don't say how. Took it from name Murders, says it has your name on it. It seemed to take his eyes off the card. How'd you bring it to me? Why'd you bring it to me?
Updated my journal.
Tear up the parchment. Our eyes follow the bits of paper as they float to the ground. With a desperate look, he shudders slightly, then straightens as if great weight has been lifted off him. He looks like he could about to thank you, then stops, stares at you suspiciously. Nothing's free. Not in the Hive, Cutter. Consider this free and expect a lot of rules in the Hive to change while I'm around. Might need a favor in the future, could you? I already ransomed my life for one man already, and I'm not about to do it again. Shakes his head. We'll settle the debt now. Well, if you feel it. Do this. I could use a place to rest. No, because we got the tomb that we can use to rest. There's no debt area. This one's free. Farewell.
All right.
Go to the tomb.
I'm gone.
Get a rest on.
I'm gone.
Chief, I won't fail you again, I swear.
In enduring, grow strong.
Need to find a shop. EC is horrible. Alright, I think that's where I'm going to save it. Right here. This seems like a good spot. I think next time we play, we will go to world map. I think next time we play, we will head over to Rockpicker Square. There's all the Hive, and then there's the Alley of Dangerous Angles is in the middle. Okay. So yeah, we've only really been to here. No, did we? Yeah, we visited there. Buried Village. So I think next time we will go try to find Farad and head west. See what we can do. Alright. So Till next time, guys. See you later.